So the urges return to put myself through the suffering of ranked solo queue in League of Legends. Truly the darkest spot of the rift, where I opted into playing a ranged top laner because I'm the player that lacks skills, steals kills, and doesn't have a soul. I'm expecting a calm early game against Diabetic Optimus Prime when I hear my team's pocket-sized troll doll droning on about some man horse trying to get freaky with our pet toad, so naturally I rotate like a greased cog, hit a flashy introduction, light that frog fetish centaur on fire to claim my first blood. But then my 3 minutes of rift euphoria was brought to a halt.
An ally has been slain.
MC Hammer decided that being one Yumizumi kitten queef from Killed was not going to attract the local stallion, and before you can say more on Rift, Alexa was already on to the next one.
An ally has been slain.
You see, my karma must have had Flash on her bucket list, so at least she crossed it off in time before Billie Jean Armstrong becomes the last of my teammates to meet that hoofed homicide machine. Amumu was more sus than someone who sucks at Among Us, and right when Mr. Tallis thought he was gonna get paid, that athletic ass hat with the antlers was back again to give the tier 1 tower POV some footage that left it saying,
"For f***'s sake, this'll be a long one."
Jace however remained consistent in being an S tier victim, only to make camping references when pitching a ward would be more useful. The car mechanic then kills me and my walking first aid kit. I made a comment that Hecarim was eagerly trying to get his Fitbit steps in for the day early, which my bot took as an invitation to walk further into danger as the night shift of hoodlums came in looking like they just saw a ghost. But that actually was just Hecarim, who bludgeoned them both. The troll doll was on a mission to find out how many licks it took to get to the center of a dead mermaid, but gave up after 2 as our mid was spending his time typing instead of helping with objectives. I found myself much younger in level than my opponent, who always had friends over, and when I tried to get something going I failed to realize that my support had less health than a 90-year-old with COPD and the goth was so we were doomed.
Is this game winnable?
Well, is the Pope Catholic? Are there bounties in the game? Am I aroused by Ryan Reynolds? Will this video be sponsored by the best mobile MMORPG free-to-play game on the market, Raid Shadow Legends?
Yes. Again. Yes. Do it again. Yes.
Today we will play Hang Bang Mary with 3 champs in Raid. First we have the game's designated waifu, Minaya. She's got the heels that make weak men squeal, skills that use her slaps to keep hungover scantily clad teammates topped off, and a kit perfect for keeping your troops alive, attacking, and happy to be around. Then we have Battle Sage aka Raid's Ellen DeGeneres, the cream of the AoE crop when it comes to building a lineup for those pesky ad heavy fights, because these electric ramen noodles coming out of her are one of the only default attack AoE abilities in the game. And last but not least we have Vergumkar, the ladies' man of the lizard men. This eligible bachelor brings it all: healing, defense, debuffs, you name it, all in the form of different concoctions that come out of his mouth during battle. I personally would hang the first 2 so I could live happily ever after with the luscious lizard, but hey, everyone's different, so try Raid yourself. Let me know who you'd want by your side, and if you do use Papa Rav's link or QR code you'll get $30 worth of silver energy boost shards, and Vergus, who's another champ worth opening your heart up to.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Okay, where were we? Yes, the sequel to Arcane, where the dashing councilman gets the fiery horse hose shoved up his shank hole 6 different ways by a smurf rocking some Vietnamese name and much more presence than any NA jungler. Exhibit F, my mucus-ridden waddling cotton swab who shows up to serve a short sentence in the prom queen prison before posting bail, getting frisky and risking everything to say he tapped a big booty crab hoe from the back. Meanwhile, the popular saying may be that karma's a bitch, but this particular one's gonna be in base, leaving just our skinny jeaned gothic arsenal of Halo 2 weapons alone in a 2v1. But hey, 2 is company, 3 is a crowd, and 4 is a party. Unfortunately I couldn't attend that party because the weaponized Hot Wheels car had me hugging my tier 2 Tommy's ankles crying daddy, which was going fine until he got this look in his eyes. Popped like a piñata on my own property, but Tommy wasn't going to let the crime go unpunished. But after a quick snooze in the black and white screen base I went back south to try and fix the opinion of me after the event. And thankfully that whining ball of wasabi was in the area to stun the super hot fire sushi roll themed genocide squad they had going on down here, which gave me more money in 10 seconds than YouTube paid me all last year. But I was high off that double, and ready to have my fantastic beast carry me by my neck fat straight into that death fetished bubble bride. But their Hecarim was like a herpy. Every time you're about to get lucky he is there scaring everyone away until you die a sad lonely death.
Is this game winnable?
Well, it's too early to tell really. We have the skills and the awareness, we just need to catch up, right? But let's not focus on Aphelios aka the enemy ATM, let's focus on the bond that me and this midget mummy were about to make over slaughtering Thor's fat metallic cousin, his legs working overtime to catch up to that smurfing stallion so that we could lock him up just in time to deny that inting emo the satisfaction of a participation award in the homicide. I soar through the toxic polluted skies down bot to find a wild Morgana dropping all her cooldowns on the ground before tying herself to me, giving me a golden shower and watching me use my flash for clearly tactical purposes before traveling to the location of her name. Even the moron in the mascara was shaping up, opting out of surprise surf lessons and setting new personal records for how long he could survive in fights.
Give your tag.
I said in a dyslexic tone as I helped my bot lane experience the foreign concept of a kill. The antagonist to my comeback autobiography got said tag before approaching a Jace who was more out of position than a league player on a dating app, but as they were about to strike, a hero sacrificed himself, putting a stop to the siege. You won't be forgotten, you small, sad sack of green shit who was becoming my inspiration in life, my driving force to finish this game out by taking their team and making them play Twister, naked. Checking in on Aphelios, who I am receiving word was mid-post of a twit longer on how ADCs suck, but my own I was on the prize as I came flying in hotter than a spoon at 2018 Demi Lovato's house with enough death darts to make Nami say Nani, which passed enough time for Bran to be ready to be stuffed like a teddy as I was getting the credit for them all being deady. My inspiration for living took things one lick too far, and that tongue of his put him in quite the predicament this time, which resulted in both a sad and sweet pea and a spirited discussion on how we all loved each other and wanted to work together to get our LP, all while I was busy saying you can be a man, you can be a horse, but you won't be a fucking thief, as I scare him off while simultaneously growing a pair of balls that then turned blue. But I've seen enough fake no-fap testimonials to know that edging just makes you feel more alive. Not that way. MV Wasabi P baby. Then mid was in trouble, but bot 2 was in trouble, so I followed the principle of babysitter the shitter and opted to help the poor soul with less help and much lower IQ to successfully defend against Obestimus Prime, but someone clearly wasn't aware that Afterlife Cyan is undoubtedly the most deadly champ in Season 12, so I hit a backflip fuck off combo to save the naive noob from falling victim. Quick stop at the shops to claim my inheritance from my late grandpappy Lord Dom, and it was time to head mid to witness what will be known as the event. Which really just resulted in Burning Man being forcefully rescheduled this year, me getting carbonated, and then nothing else worth mentioning. Not again. The escape was giving me flashbacks, but the bitch that is karma was here, and here with Ignite. Yes, Jace the Cloud Drake spawning in 7 years is definitely going to be my top priority after I surprise an old friend who doesn't know I'm in town.
No, I am the one who knocks.
That said, thank God this Cyan is one of the thousands of kids watching the Boz stream and completely misinterpreting how to play that split pushing strat, as I now had mana free VIP access to the Hawk taxi service, so not even Keemstar could outrun me, plus Kraken Slayer makes slaying Kraken like this walking Napa Auto Parts Center a total breeze. And if you were a non-believer before, then check out the 2 consecutive miracles that happened, where first we secured a dragon and second our Aphelios was somehow worth a full kill's amount of gold. I could feel the team dynamic improving as I asked the boys if they wanted Nami Tempura served with a side of Get Fucked Girl, and then I went straight bot because 2 of my boys were there and I wanted them to hear Rift Alexa describe my keen ability to find the Milky Way in the sky as
Legendary.
And then I saved that feeding asshat and the creepy ghost step-sister that whispers to him all game safe from post-death MMA fight form Cyan. Teamwork was making the dream work between my team's haters. I was prepping that bubble-wrapped bride to learn about the Hextech shit Jace jerks off to at night. Aphelios was still dying. But then me and my Biffle the Burning Band-Aid were there to avenge our fallen idiot, which gave me the confidence to face that toothy three-headed wildebeest. Piltover's finest was being given second chances to reflect on his toxic mistakes of the past so that he could come back and be a better man. I was still inquiring to learn more about what it's like living in Vietnam until that shitter hit me with a bee emote. A fucking disrespectful spitting bumblebee. No, you don't. No one throws out the bumblebee in my presence, you arrogant, ungrateful, four-legged, soon-to-be dead horse. I then stormed the base like it was a beach in Normandy, let my fickle friends run around touching each other's indecisive nipples, and ended the game. Hashtag Winnable.